And this week, a third political party caused a stir after announcing that they may put forward a candidate in the 2024 presidential election.
That's right. It's called the No Labels Party. It's been branded as a centrist group. The party has received support from both former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan and West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin.
And so Manchin himself is a speculated candidate. He actually spoke at a No Labels town hall in New Hampshire Monday night, and here's what he said about what goes into a decision to run.
If we're showing you the common sense that most Americans want to be governed by, and neither is doing that, and we can't push them back to the middle, that'll be a time to make a decision, whether it's me or anybody else. We're not here. I'm not here running for president tonight. I'm not. I'm here trying to basically save the nation. I'm concerned more now than I've ever been concerned in my lifetime.
All right, and joining us live right now is Joe Cunningham. He's a national coordinator of the No Labels Party and also a former Democratic congressman from South Carolina.
He was also the Democratic nominee for South Carolina governor in 2022. Joe, thanks for being here. We really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Of course, great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Anytime. All right. So as we know, of course, Americans are so used to red and blue parties, but most people don't know your party exists right now. So tell us, what is the No Labels Party and what are some of the thresholds you think you'll need to get over?
Well, look, No Labels is an entity, it's a C4, it's a nonprofit that's been around for over 12 years. And it started the Problem Solvers Caucus in the House of Representatives, which is half Democrats, half Republicans. It's an entity that meets every single week to address the nation's problems. I was a member of the Problem Solvers Caucus, and I can tell you, it was one of the few forums around D.C. where Democrats and Republicans sat together and try to work through problems and find solutions. A while back, No Labels expanded their view and created a bicameral arm to it. So they have a presence over in the Senate as well as the House. And here, as of late, we've been securing ballot access across the entire country to nominate a unity ticket, a Democrat, Republican, or Republican and Democrat, if two thresholds are met. Number one, if the major party nominees are basically so unacceptable to the American public that a third option or a better option is warranted. And secondly, if there's a pathway to victory, if polling and data shows that an electoral college victory can be had. And our polling and all of our data shows that this type of ticket can win under the circumstances with Trump versus Biden.
Yeah, and Joe, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, as we just heard, wants to save the nation, strongly hinting at a presidential run on Monday night. What is it about Manchin that draws him into No Labels, especially given how divisive he is as a Democrat?
Well, look, we're happy to be in New Hampshire with Senator Manchin and Governor Huntsman. And the two of them were there because they were original co-chairs for No Labels. So they have a long working history with the organization. And so we're happy to have them there to kick off this Common Sense Tour, which is a booklet of 30 different ideas to how to tackle America's problems, everything from crime to immigration to gun safety. And that can be found online at nolabels.org/common sense. But look, this is just the first of many of these town hall events we're going to do. So we'll have other people coming on as well. But Senator Manchin has been, he's been instrumental in trying to bridge that partisan gap and working with No Labels for quite some time.
Hey, Joe, third parties, of course, are nothing new. Most notably, you can go back to 1992, the perception that Ross Perot, conservative who ran as an independent, caused George Bush his reelection. Do you worry about spoiling the election for either side? And would you stay in the race if there's no clear pathway to win?
To answer your last question first, no. I mean, we would only get in it to win it. And if there's no pathway of victory, we can pull the whole thing down. This is about providing Americans a voice and a choice. And you look at where we are right now, 2/3 of America does not want to see this rematch. So who's speaking to them? And No Labels is the place that provides a voice for the common sense majority, because most of our country, most of Americans are somewhere near the middle, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I still am. But I feel like there needs to be a voice for the moderates in our country. And there needs to be someone standing up, providing a better option if the majority of the country doesn't want to see this sequel.
Okay, but Joe, the reality is no independent or third-party candidate has carried a single state in the Electoral College since George Wallace won parts of the Deep South. That was back in 1968. So why do you think the No Labels Party can do what no one else has done in more than half a century?
I would paraphrase Victor Hugo, who said, "There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come." You look at where we are right now as a country. The latest Gallup poll has half the country identifying as independents, the most ever, as many as Democrats and Republicans combined. You look at where we are, 70% of our country doesn't want Biden to run for re-election. 60% doesn't want to see Trump. So the question becomes, what are we going to provide Americans? And right now, we've already gained ballot access to 5 states, and we're working on getting on at least a couple dozen by the end of the year. But I feel like that timing is right now. And this has been an idea for a bit, but the majority of the country is clamoring for something else. And if neither party can draw themselves back to the center and nominate a person who is, they can be attractive to the majority of Americans, then No Labels can step up and fill that void.
Yeah, certainly interesting. Joe Cunningham, National Coordinator for the No Labels Party.
Yeah, Joe, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Good to see you all.